And welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network. And today's topic, it's Thanksgiving. And today's topic is being grateful, at being grateful as a state of being. Rather than necessarily, maybe it means making grateful a verb. Anyway, it'll be an interesting and fun conversation. But before we get started, let's take a minute or two to get present. So let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, all your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, all your molecules, your electrons, creating a brilliant beam of light and energy from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's press our palms together, vigorously rub your hands together to feel the friction, the temperature, the pressure, the motion, the tickling and tingling when you stop, and all the sensations. Let them bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, Rosalind. Happy Thanksgiving to you and everybody else who's joining us. And it's great to have you here with us this morning. So today we're talking about Thanksgiving and being grateful, like grateful as a state of being gratitude, rather than giving gratitude, being grateful, being appreciative, being present to the bounty of our lives, even in the face of our sorrows and our challenges, to find that place of appreciation, awe, wonder, gratefulness for the bounty of our lives and the beauty in our lives and the goodness in our lives. We've been talking about frequency a lot lately and how we get to elevate our own frequency and how that makes a difference in the way our own lives unfold and also in the ripple effect that we create in the field. And when we allow ourselves to step into this place of one, I have to couple it with wonder, actually, this place of wonder and appreciation. I couple it with wonder because for me, connecting to the remarkable universe that we live in, connecting to the beauty, there is a sense of awe and wonder about that. And to me, or for me, it's very much the same kind of heart opening as gratitude and appreciation. And I make a distinction, and I don't know if it's just a linguistic distinction, but for me, it's kind of a felt distinction as well between giving thanks and appreciation. I'm not sure where gratitude is on the spectrum, but giving thanks somehow is, to me, kind of an affirmation of an otherness. So we've been so deeply conditioned to believe ourselves separate from the greater intelligence of the universe, to imagine in the Judeo-Christian culture, um, to be imagining ourselves as separate from God or from nature, from the collective intelligence that is present in the world, and whatever we call it. I think that the distinction that I'm trying to articulate, no, I'm not doing such a great job at it, but the distinction is just coming into this space of being in connectedness, and and the wonder of that connected universe. And in this space of not being grateful for being given something necessarily, but being grateful to be a part of it, of the vastness of it, of the experience of it, of the sensations of it, the beauty that we get to experience, the all the experiences that we are present to in our physical form, however real or illusory or illusionary it may be. Whatever our perceptions, we're still very, very, very rich in experience, joy, sorrow, pleasure, pain, all of it. That there's just this gamut of sensation, physical interpretations, physical impulses, their inputs that we receive, and just the wonder of what is the true nature of our being here, and what are we capable of, and what are we, what is this. And it's interesting because those same questions in the past caused me so, or I caused myself so much angst over those questions, like what is this, and what's this all about. And um, it was always a desperation that was very much a driver around those questions. And it's such a relief to be in a space of wonder rather than that kind of desperation, to be in a place of curiosity, um, rather than to to um, to have to find an answer, like to be engaged in the inquiry as its own fulfillment, rather than having to find some kind of definitive answer, but to be in the exploration as an ongoing discovery. And so in on this day of Thanksgiving, which has so much fraught history to it, actually, if we can recreate it to a time of honoring and connecting with the bounty that is available to us, even in our need, even in our pain or sorrow. It's so easy to get twisted into, well, we're able to twist ourselves into all different kinds of perspectives. And given that that's the case, given that in any moment we can shift our perspective and have a different experience, it is a reminder that there's no true perspective. There's no one perspective, that we are multitudes. We contain multitudes and we are multitudes, and that has to do with our perspectives as well. And if no one perspective is more true or real than another, then why not direct ourselves into perspectives that uplift us and enliven us? So Rosalind says the I amness was here before I arrived, like I was knocking on the door. I was knocking from inside. Rosalind, I so hope you write poetry. I mean, because what you contribute to our conversations is so poetic. I was knocking from inside. I love that. I love that. So yes, the I amness, it was here before this particular physical manifestation, but we are that, and it is us. And there is no separation, that we are the universe. And, it's almost like it's holographic in its way, especially as we expand our capacity to connect to it, as we become less attached and entrenched in the way we believe things are, the way we believe ourselves to be, who we believe ourselves to be, that there's this much deeper connection. And so maybe that frequency of appreciation, wonder, awe, gratitude, maybe that is another expression of love. Like that's the essence. That's the essence that is all of it, that it is this grand, all-encompassing, full spectrum interwovenness and connection. And I guess what I'm looking at a lot these days, and what I'm reaching into, touching into, listening into, feeling into, is the essence that is beyond the boundaries, that the boundaries can't contain. So like you're saying, Rosalind, knocking from the inside, that, all these boundaries are boundaries we've created, and we're knocking from the inside to open that door into our expansive beingness. And so being gratitude is I think, being in appreciation, being in connection, being in awe and wonder, is an expansive state that maybe allows that door to open, and maybe allows us access to what's beyond it. That it's not gratitude for something other, something external, that it's actually an opening into our fuller expression, our fuller being, our fuller truth. Yeah. It's interesting because I think we can find, life provides us with so many distractions from life. So our everyday demands and our everyday escapades somehow allow us to continue to forget almost like willfully forget our interconnectedness and our wholeness, and to become very focused on things that allow us to imagine that we're isolated and that we're separate somehow. So so many of these things, as much as we try to be conscious, so many of our patterns are completely unconscious. So this was a really interesting conversation that I had yesterday with a male client who's very committed to living beyond the conditioning of life and the patriarchy and racism and sexism and beyond. And just they were recounting an interaction with their significant other, and talking about how they were involved in something, and their partner came in and said, "What would you like for dinner?" And their reaction was, "I don't have time to think about this right now." And we, in unpacking it, we were able to recognize that here somebody was coming, offering themselves something, doing something nice, and the way that this person responded discounted that person completely, and considered, and rather than receiving what they were trying to do as a benefit, was considering that it was an interruption and it was unimportant. And so there was this very deeply entrenched patriarchal, sexist role playing that was going on, where the other person, the person who was offering to make dinner, for example, to do something nice for this person, it was taken for granted, it was assumed. And it was such a shock to the person with whom I was having the conversation to realize this behavior. Like it just jolted them, because they hadn't previously seen it. And I think that that's what happens to us. It's such a good example. Here's somebody who's really working to be very conscious, and here was this unconscious behavior pattern that when they saw it, they were horrified. They were actually horrified. But they, without being able to see it, it really was invisible. So where I'm going with this is that we often get so wrapped up in life and our own perspectives and our own little reality, that we aren't present. Like, what opened up to him from this was a tremendous gratitude and appreciation for her that had been non-existent beforehand. And so what I'm saying is that if we can allow ourselves to step out of our preoccupations of our immediate focus, interpretation, if we can step back to see a bigger picture, there's such richness available to us. So what had been an irritation for this person shifted into something much grander and into a deeper sense of connectedness. And I think it's a great metaphor for the way that so many of us live most of our lives, is being tunnel vision and not recognizing all the gifts around us that we can be finding joy and connection in. So I think there's an opportunity with any holiday to deeply recontextualize it for ourselves in a personal way. You know, there are so many Hallmark holidays, right? And these are orchestrated opportunities to be attending to this, that, or the other. And then, you know, there's our one day of the year that we celebrate this, that, or the other. But what if we were to make these celebrations a real personal celebration? What if we create our own deep context and connection? We can we don't have to buy into the holiday at all, but we could, since there's a collective awareness around a given holiday, we could be informing into that collective an enlivened perspective, and maybe carry those enlivened perspectives into our lives beyond the holiday. You know, maybe we can use the holiday as an activator that then gives greater energy and vitality to the things that we've allowed ourselves to become present to in the holidays. And I know that holidays can be really, really difficult and painful. And I know for years they were for me, many of the holidays, because I had such fraught family relationships. And there were all these dynamics between different factions of the family. And it was just really painful. And I imagine that quite a number of you have situations like that, where maybe the holiday becomes a reminder of rifts, and can be a very lonely time. And so for you too, I invite you to make your own meaning, to not be reliant on the norms of what the holiday looks like. You know, celebrating with family and friends. Well, not all of us are in the position to be celebrating with family and friends. And maybe it's not a celebration. And so if we can personalize and universalize all at the same time our relationship to the holiday, if we can utilize the day to find our own space of wonder and thankfulness, gratitude, whatever, appreciation, then we needn't be as dependent upon the standardized ritual, often commercialized ritual, often automatic, unconscious ritual of a given holiday. And so for those of you who do not have the family and friends to celebrate with, or for whom this feels like a time of loneliness and desolation, I invite you to look into those things that you can find upliftment from, that you can find connection to, an authentic appreciation for in your life, despite the sorrows, despite the hurt. They can all exist at the same time. And it's a matter of where we put our attention. And we have the ability to shift our focus. And I invite you to use this as an opportunity to elevate your sense of being, elevate your frequency that can be elevated beyond the context of circumstance. That there is a part of you that can find beauty in nature, even, or even beauty in sorrow. That there is a place within us that we can tap as we connect to a broader picture beyond the constraints of whatever pain we may be experiencing, to elevate our own spirit, to connect to the broader sense of presence, to expand into being grateful. And it doesn't mean that it's a denial of the hardship or the sorrow. It just means that we're expanding to include that and more. And so with that, that's it for today. And I wish you a beautiful Thanksgiving. Rosalind says, I appreciate your sentiment. Many of these words are from G.P. Walsh and others who have walked the path before me. Their way of capturing these subtle insights into words. You also are full of sharing joy and connection every day. Core connection topics are like pulling an oracle card for the day, invitations to remember and cultivate new ways of being. Thank you, Mira. Thank you, Rosalind. I'm so grateful to you. I'm so grateful for the connection and the connection that we have to one another through these morning musings. So that's it for today. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection, and I go live here each weekday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern on the Enlightened World Network Facebook page and YouTube channel. And I invite you to check out the other wonderful, wonderful programming on Enlightened World Network and Enlightened World Living. And I thank you for the connection and for the privilege to share these thoughts, inquiries, discoveries, conversations with you. So until next time, so much love to you.